Video versus text comparison. I prefer a video. I prefer a video essay or an audio recording over a written essay. Even in this essay project, I think it's better to hear how the speaker said certain things. When I read the speech, when I read it, I try to understand it from my perspective or how I would say it. And the speaker is their own person. They're saying it their way, and I might not know what that way is. But hearing the speech spoken in their own words and how they say it gives the speech so much more meaning. Some of these speakers have accents, and some speakers' first language wasn't English entirely. So you may not get all the context or the tone of how they say certain words or how they say sentences. All of which can be lost when you put the speech in writing. In the speeches, some sentences were different. In the written speeches, some of the sentences were different from how they were said in the audio or video recording. Some sentences had to be broken down or translated a little bit for better understanding of what the speaker meant. I'd rather hear the context and the tone that the audio or video gives rather than reading and trying to sort of decipher what the speaker meant. For example, the Bono, because we can, we must speech, he said a phrase. He said, "Then I became the worst scourge on God's green earth. A rock star with a cause." To a new reader, what could that mean? He became the worst scourge on God's green earth. A rock star? Now imagine you don't know what a rock star is. What does that mean? What could that be? It's a joke. Now, if you first read that and you don't know what a rock star is, you wouldn't understand the joke. You wouldn't understand. It would be like an inside joke.
Why are you doing this bad?
So, even with Shakespeare, some people spent entire time of their lives discovering, trying to decipher what he meant. And his poems were in a format 1-2-2-1. First rhymes with the first line rhymes with the fourth line. Second line rhymes with the third line. And some of the words, we have the definitions of the words that he used, but they could have meant something different during this time. And words meanings shift through time, right? So, for example, I pulled up to the store. Somebody, couple years from now, maybe 10, 15 years from now, maybe even less, 5 years, maybe even less, 3 or 4 years.
What the fuck are you watching?
I pulled up to the store. What does he mean by I pulled up to the store?
What are you watching?
Look on my phone, bro.
Now, if you recorded me saying that, I would obviously make a gesture of I'm going somewhere.
What did you say?
What's what that means? That means I'm going somewhere. And now I just broke down one word, just one sentence phrase. I put it to the store. Now imagine deciphering whole poems and stories and scripts for performances. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. So I would prefer, and no, it's not Shakespeare's fault because they can record themselves, saying these poems or performing these poems and performances So it's not their fault, but now that we have the technology, I prefer video over text. I prefer video or audio rather than text, like reading.